This is Rich Harshaw, and we are here for our monthly webinar for remodeling contractors. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll give you some good content today. I think this is some stuff that's going to make a big difference in your business. The topic, of course, is online reviews, the new and mandatory frontier in social proof, a major key to conversion. And as we get started on this, let me just make one minor adjustment on this. Hang on real quick. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I do want to encourage you to stick around to the end of the webinar. I'll be giving away 2 copies of Monopolize Your Marketplace, the flagship book of Monopolize Your Marketplace. So if you'll stick around, we'll do a drawing for that, but you must be present to win, and we'll be giving those away at the very end of the webinar today. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about a topic that sort of intros this whole topic of online reviews, which is website conversionability. And this is a topic that I'm extremely passionate about, that I think is really underrated in the world of marketing, online marketing, remodeling marketing, any kind of marketing. And the discussion is, how do we get people to go from being a website visitor to actually doing something and becoming a lead and then a customer? Okay, so the definition of conversionability is simply the process of increasing stickiness on the website, so people will, here's the key words, jot these down, hopefully you're taking notes, read it, absorb it, believe it, and take action based on it. This is what conversionability is all about. People reading your website, absorbing what's on it, believing what it says, and then therefore naturally wanting to take action based on what they see on your website. If you've got the proper conversionability tools, then you're not going to need a bunch of ridiculous engagement tools or hooks or calls to action. You certainly can and should have appropriate calls to action on your website, places where people can contact you and ask for information and so forth. But you don't have to rely on those things to sort of trick people into giving you their information. They're going to want to buy from you. So there is something to be said for capturing the information for people that aren't ready to necessarily buy yet and having offers. But I just want you to understand that it's not an issue of trickery or luck or anything like that. There's certain specifically things that you can do on your website to get people to read, absorb, believe, and then take action. Okay, and the key components of website conversionability, and you'll see as we go through these, there's 5 of them, and we'll go through them quickly, and we're going to focus in on the last one, which is online reviews. But just to give you a more complete overview of this topic, conversionability, the first one is professionalism. Your website has to look good, first impressions, those kinds of things. You remember the old saying, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. That's probably true. So you can't show up at a wedding wearing cut-off jean shorts and a T-shirt. You've got to at least wear a nice suit. Unless you're a woman, then a dress would probably be sufficient. But you get the idea, right? So you've just got to have a nice-looking website. That's not much of a surprise to anybody, hopefully not to you on this webinar. But it is one of the keys to conversionability. If you don't look professional, it's a non-starter a lot of times. The second one is identity, and this is where we key a lot of our attention and effort at Monopolize Your Marketplace, creating websites that have identity. Identity, the definition of identity is using words, phrases, and images, on your website in this case, that instantly, definitively communicate who you are, how you're different, why you're better, why people should do business with you, and what people can expect when they do business with you. This is the identity, and it's a massive, massive issue. Almost no websites have identity in them, and this is one of the major things that we do for our clients. Is we look at your company, we go through a detailed identity analysis. We find the points that make you different and special and better, and then we communicate those things through the website and other marketing materials, but in this case the website, so that people understand it like it says, believe it, take action based on it. Identity. So we're not going to talk a lot about identity today. I hope that if you're not familiar with identity via the MYM methodology and philosophy, that you go to our website, you go to the Remodeler section, go to Basic Principles, click on that tab, and watch the identity webinar. If you don't, you're missing out just a tremendous amount, okay? So identity, the last three, first of all, is headline funnel. And we've got to find a way to communicate things on the page so that they're easy for people to follow and to build an argument, and so that people know what to find, where to find it on your website. This is called a headline funnel. I'm not going to talk too much about that today, but then I want to get into this thing called social proof. Okay, social proof, and I'll talk more about this in just a minute, giving people evidence that you have other customers, other people that know you, have used you, and like you, and are willing to give their testimony to speak to how their experience was with you, okay? And then we also create evidence as part of the website conversionability tool set. Evidence is simply gathering information that can support claims that are made as you write your information on your website. So we're going to focus down in here on the social proof evidence part of this conversionability thing for today, okay? So let's take a look at the book, The Psychology of Persuasion, Influence by Robert Cialdini. This is an excellent book. If you haven't read it, I'd recommend it. It's an easy read. It's an interesting read. It's kind of a fun read if you're into those kinds of things. And he talks in this book about what he calls the 6 weapons of influence, and you can see them there on the screen: reciprocity, consistency, social proof, liking, authority, scarcity, and so forth. And we're going to focus in today on number 3 there, social proof. Social proof. Okay, just give you some examples from the book what social proof is. It says simply that people look at others' behavior to determine how they should act. It's more powerful if the other people that are being looked at are more like the person doing the looking. And he gives several examples in the book, Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. One of them is curing children of phobias, and they take kids that have phobias of, say, some sort of an animal like a dog, and they take the kid and they show him videos of a kid in a room with a dog that's, of course, happy and being friendly and nice and cute and all those kinds of things. Then they show the kid in person, another little boy playing with a dog, and they find that this is an easy way. I'm not saying it's fail-proof, but in their research, this is a way to cure kids of phobias. When they see other kids that are similar to them, similar age, similar gender, they put them in the room with the dog, and it helps them overcome their phobia. There's another concept in there called pluralistic ignorance, uncertainty. And this means that when there's a group of people together, you tend to look around at others to figure out what to do. And there's a case in there called the Catherine Genovese case. It's from the early 1970s. It was a famous case of the day involving the murder of a woman named Kathleen Genovese. And what made it notable was there was multiple witnesses that saw this going on in New York City and failed to report the crime to the police. And there became a huge investigation surrounding it, focusing in on the fact that most people didn't do anything simply because they thought irrationally, but actually rationally, that everybody else had it under control. And so they tried to, they felt like they didn't need to intervene because they figured somebody else had already done it. There's a little bullet point on there that says roadside fire. This is from my own personal files. I was driving with my family across country a few years ago, and we came upon, it was very dry, it was in the summer, and we came upon a roadside fire. Now, it wasn't huge, but there were probably 3 or 4 of them spread out over, gosh, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 or 70 yards, something like that. And we saw these fires, and my wife said, well, why don't we call the local authorities here? It was in the middle of nowhere, so we weren't sure who the local authorities were or what to do about it. And my first reaction very instantaneously was, well, why do we need to worry about it? Somebody will take care of it. And I got to thinking, this is pluralistic ignorance. If everybody that passes the scene of the fires on the side of the road takes the attitude that somebody else will take care of it, then nobody will take care of it, and it won't get reported. So we actually ended up trying to call. So anyway, this is all called social proof. There's an interesting story in the book about suicide rates called The Werther Effect that talks about when suicides are publicized in the media, that there's a very distinct uptick in the number of suicides among non-famous people that aren't reported in the media. And it goes on to give very chilling and horrifying types of statistics on this phenomenon called the Werther effect that shows that the types of suicides, the methods of suicides, the gender of suicides, the number of people involved in the suicides, whether it was a suicide or a murder-suicide, these things all tend to go up. Also, they show that other non-suicide accidents go up, which are actually suicides that are disguised as accidents go up in the wake of these publicized famous people suicides. And so the media actually, probably not now, probably not anymore with the internet, but in the past they've made efforts to minimize the coverage of those types of events because of this very well documented Werther effect. Also, probably the most famous issue of social proof in a negative way was the drinking the Kool-Aid literally with what was his name, Jim Jones, took his believers down to South America and they literally drank the Kool-Aid and committed suicide. And he documents in the book how this was an element of social proof, looking at what other people were doing, how other people were reacting to the situation, and how these people apparently just very calmly went to their deaths. And it's a little bit creepy, and this is kind of morbid, a lot of these cases, but it's meant to illustrate and give examples to the point that social proof can be extraordinarily powerful. Now, the book, Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, was written sort of as a quasi-marketing book, helping people not necessarily understand how to use these things to their advantage, but really it was written more as a defensive book, how to watch out for these things as a consumer and not be pulled in by them. But this social proof definitely has its element in its place within marketing. Okay, so let's talk about how to implement social proof. The old-fashioned way is testimonials, and I'll talk about those in just a second. Customer references. This is actually having customer names and phone numbers and addresses that people can contact. That's a way to give social proof. Photo galleries, of course. Case studies on your website of other people that have done business with you, what they were trying to accomplish, what you ended up doing, and what it looked like. And then, of course, online reviews, which is our topic du jour. So let's talk about why testimonials won't do the trick. First of all, they sound fake. They sound made up. They don't sound real. You have to take time to gather them. You have to post them online. A lot of times people can't gather them, so they make them up. You know, they're not very detailed in many cases. And even if they don't sound fake, they're not particularly helpful because they're not saying the right kinds of things. They're not third party. They're just not very believable. They're just not that helpful. Okay, so let me give you an example. This comes off a random website that I pulled up, Connor Remodeling and Design. And here's his testimonials. I was extremely pleased with the service and professionalism I received from Connor Remodeling. Kevin kept me up to date. The next one, what can I say? Ken and the crew were great. We'd have you back in a second. You all made this project a success. Ken, you rock. It's a pleasure to work with Ken and your crews. These are posted on Connor's website. There's no indication of how they were gathered, if they were gathered. We know that they were subject to editing because they're on Connor's website. So there's just a lack of believability that plagues these. And it doesn't mean that people are necessarily reading them and saying to themselves, well, clearly this is made up, and clearly these people don't exist, or clearly if these people do exist, they didn't actually say these things. But it's understood that these comments are easily manipulated, and they're clearly purged of anything negative. They're clearly set up to make this company look good, and as a result, they just don't have any believability. Okay, this is part of the problem. So you know, this is kind of, well, no, it's kind of like that. I'll just pass on that comment. Let's talk about how this really works in real life. Now, this is a web page for an app, and I started looking for an app to do group messaging because I'm a youth sports coach. I have coached basketball, and wish us luck. We'll be hopefully in the championship game this Friday for 9- and 10-year-old boys. I also coach baseball, and as a result, I like to use text messaging to reach out to the parents to keep them informed of practices and schedule changes and all that kind of stuff. But the iPhone, which is the phone that I use, has a limitation. I don't know if you know this, but you can only text up to 10 people at a time on an iPhone. But they have apps that allow you to work around that limitation and send stuff to multiple people. So this is an app that I found. It's called Text to Group, Fast SMS and iMessage, created by who? Yoni Suruz, whatever. I can't read that name. So as I was investigating this app costs 99 cents, okay? It's a 99-cent app. So I think we can all agree that if you know, you or I were to buy an app for 99 cents and it turned out that the app really didn't work or wasn't that good, it would probably not be financially devastating, okay? But still, we look at the reviews, okay? And you look down here, customer ratings. The current version had 38 ratings, 3-star. All versions have 1,498 ratings, which were rated at 4 stars. And you start reading into these actual customer reviews. So here's what I found when I went to search about this app. I'm a high school tennis coach. Does that sound like me? That sounds like me. I'm not high school and I'm not tennis, but I am a youth sports coach with 20 players. Spring weather is unpredictable, so last-minute changes in practices and matches are common. This app makes communicating with the team a snap. Replies to me come only to me, unlike the built-in text-to-all feature on my iPhone. Update, I'm about finished with this season, and this app has worked flawlessly. Every member of my tennis team has received every text message. Okay, great. That sounds like what I'm trying to accomplish. This sounds like my situation. Let's read the other one. I've been looking for an app like this for a long time. I finally found this. It's amazing. You need to get this app. Now, that's not a particularly helpful review because it's not very granular, but that's okay because there's more. App works as designed. Once you figure out to create a group, you first need to go to all contacts, select the contacts you want, then tap the disk icon in the lower left. Then you will be prompted to create a group or add to existing. A little confusing up front, hence the 1-star knockoff. Now, you're probably listening to me right now saying, well, first of all, Rich, I don't really care about your stupid texting app. I don't care. I'm not asking you to care about the app. I'm asking you to look at what we're gleaning from these reviews. From the first review, I gleaned that it does exactly what I need to do, and I see an update that it worked flawlessly, so that's good. I like that. The second one really is more like a testimonial. It doesn't really read or have any granularity that makes it particularly helpful. But look at this third one. Works once you figure it out. And it goes through a little short description about how it's a little bit confusing to figure it out. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think, I'm going to go back one slide. Do you think if you read the information that's provided by the text-to-group publisher that they're going to admit to me that it's a little bit hard to figure out at first? No. When I see it here, here's what I like. Okay, apparently it works well, but it's a little bit confusing to figure out. So now guess what? This creates a confirmation bias. When I go in and I actually buy this app and it actually is a little bit difficult to figure out, I don't get frustrated. I don't quit. I don't say, well, geez, this is a piece of crap. I say to myself, oh, this is going to be a little bit hard. What were some of the things that were hard? Oh, you got to do this and this and this, and then I get it to work, and I can tell you, this app has been freaking phenomenal, and it was 99 cents. Then you look on here, and you go, okay, we've got 818 5 stars, 326 4 stars, 103 stars, 66 2 stars, 188 1 stars. Isn't this, excuse me, isn't this kind of the ratio you're looking for? I mean, let's add it up here. We got 818 and 326 4 and 5 stars out of, what is that? That's 1,144 out of, let's see, 166, 188, recall, 1 divided. Okay, it's about 76% 4 and 5 star. And you look at that and you go, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like this. And then you start to wonder, I wonder how many of the people that rated it 1 star just got bogged down by it being a little bit confusing. Okay, so this is what we go through for a freaking 99-cent application for your phone. And I'm asking you to think about a $29,000 kitchen remodel or a $7,600 window replacement job or a $4,000 cabinet refinishing. And I want you to think about how critical and important the uncertainty is in those transactions and how important these reviews could be. Another example, I'm just going to give you a few because I want to make this case very, very solid for you. I went to buy a lamp. Here's a lamp. You look at it online on Amazon. It's got 2.5 stars, 48 reviews, and you start looking at the reviews. I was disappointed in the item purchased. It's a cheap plastic version of a lamp with little illumination and a shipping price that was more than the lamp. To Jack's credit, they promptly addressed my assessment of this product by refunding my money without being asked and apologized. Okay, next, 1 star. I'm very disappointed. I have headlamps with just 2 LEDs that are brighter than this. This is a waste of money and materials. 2 stars. This lamp is a ripoff. Okay, and then I look up here. We've got 5 stars, 7. We got 17 1 star. So this is telling me probably I don't want this lamp. This is a lamp I did buy. It's quite a bit more expensive. This lamp is $195, but it does exactly what I want it to do. And you come on here and you look, it doesn't have as many reviews, but when you look at it, I can read the positive. And here's what I'm trying to help you understand. There's a granularity factor that makes a big difference here. It's an apprehension about such an expensive desk lamp. Oh, like me. But I'm glad I took the plunge. I was looking for a non-fluorescent articulating desk lamp. Most articulating lamps need constant fiddling and tightening and don't hold their position very well. The Z-bar stays right where you put it, no fuss, no tightening or loosening. It has a tiny footprint. I'm using the thing. Now, here's what's interesting about that. I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm saying right now. This reviewer, like the previous reviewer on the app, is bringing up elements of the review, elements of the critique, elements about this lamp that I would not have even ever thought to consider. Like, does this lamp stay put without having to tighten it? Now, if you go back and look at the picture of the lamp, you can see what I'm talking about. It's got 1, 2, 3 pivot points. And if you have to fiddle with those and constantly adjust them and they start to slouch and all those kinds of things, then that could be a big pain in the butt. And this person says it stays put. Now, I've had this lamp for 3 years, and I'm here to tell you it has never had one element or minor issue even of slippage. It's just stayed exactly where I put it. The lamp puts out good light. It doesn't irritate me like fluorescence. It's almost as soothing. The 6 individual lights do create a slight shadow effect. Negative thing coming. If you can, set the light so it illuminates from the opposite of your dominant hand. If you're right-handed, have it shine from the left so as not to create a shadow from your hand onto your work. And guess what? That's exactly right. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of this because you don't care about this lamp, but I'm showing you the granularity level that is available through online reviews. It's third party. I get the good, I get the bad, I get the elements that I hadn't even thought about and considered, and they're all right there that are helping me feel confident or unconfident. Now look down here. I said I was going to read the whole thing, but I am going to read some more. This sucker does not get hot. Anytime you can touch the lamp without fear. Uses 9 watts. My only other complaints are niggling. Turning off the unit requires 4 presses of the plus or minus buttons. Though the buttons are of good quality and easily accessible, it also is a contemporary looking light. Not my style, but I'll accept function over form. Okay, so that's helpful. Now, here's an interesting counterpoint to this light. I was really excited about the product until 20 minutes after putting it to use. First, I have to give some credit to the design. The lamp is gorgeous, but in my opinion, there's significant flaws. The fundamental problem, all 6 LED bulbs are thin and relatively long bar. It looks great, but since the beam from each light is concentrated, the lamp has strong and weak zones in light coverage, creating a scenario like what you'll see when you're driving at night. Normally, the zones are not noticeable, blah, blah, blah. So you can read this. The light is too limited because the bulbs are in one straight line. The light is concentrated. So you can sort of pick and choose, and you can decide, okay? So I ended up buying the lamp, and I loved it to death. Fantastic light, but then, unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, it broke. It quit working, and I had to go back, and I had to buy a new one. And I bought the exact same lamp, except it wasn't available anymore, so I had to buy the updated version that's actually more expensive. but I love the lamp so much that even though it lasted 3 years, I'm still willing. I'd be willing to buy this same lamp every 3 years if I had to. Anyway, look at the reviews. Here's the point. I won't go through this one in detail other than to say, if you're going on a cruise, you're going to go on vacation, look at this. If you're going to Cancun and you go to tripadvisor.com, Live Aqua Cancun all-inclusive, 3,720 reviews, 117, 4,000, 3,700, 2,300, 1,600. This is going to give the consumer the power, and that's what we want. Now, if you suck and your customers hate you, then you're going to get crappy reviews, and you deserve to suck, and you deserve to die. So, you know, deal with that, but the solution shouldn't be, well, we're going to run away from online reviews. We need to embrace these, okay? Here's one that, as I was going to Cancun, Secret Silver Sands Riviera Cancun, 4,000 reviews, okay? And look down here on the bottom left. This is kind of what you're looking for, is this type of a pattern. Nobody expects everybody to have a perfect experience, but when you look at this, I mean, let's do the math on this one again. 2671 plus 876, that's, whoops, 2671. So we got 3,547 and 311, 128, 75. So out of 4,061, I probably could have known that by just looking at the top. Oh well. And that gives us what? I don't know what that is. My math is terrible, but it's, you know, it's that 75% range is what we're looking for. Okay, and if you look up here, we've got different reviews. We can read these in detail. Now I'm going to tell you this: if you're going on vacation to Cancun, it can be very discouraging to read some of these reviews, because you see all these great reviews, and then you see people that were there at the same time that have negative reviews. So you just have to sort of judge for yourself. Okay, if you click the More button, then here's what I love about this. This person took the time to rate the food, the service, the beach, the pool, the rooms, okay? And it just gives you a lot of opportunity for this granularity, okay? To consider things that maybe you wouldn't even have thought about, etc. So why online reviews? Social proof, people believe them. I think we've made this fairly clear at this point. Web-based, your most important marketing tool is your website, so you don't want to have your review, you know, we'll show them reviews at the sales appointment. That's dumb. You want to show them in their environment, on the website, at their convenience, and as many as possible. The other thing about online reviews is that SEO loves these things. And the reason that SEO loves these things is because they're very frequently keyword rich, they're very frequently geographically specific, and if you're soliciting them consistently, you get to add them all the time, and this gives you fresh, new content on a consistent, ongoing basis. And this, for SEO purposes, is freaking fantastic. If you got involved with online reviews for no other reason than to help your SEO, it would be very much well worth your while, okay? Now, let me tell you about this in terms of monopolize your marketplace. We started seeing this need a few years ago as we transitioned out of 2010, 2011, and as we started getting heavy in our business into providing marketing fulfillment services for our clients, we started seeing that there was a hole in the marketplace for online reviews. So I sent one of my staff members on a mission, and the mission was find the best online review solution for us, okay? For not just for us, but for our customers, all right? So we researched about 30 different alternatives, and here was our non-negotiable criteria. The solution that we picked had to allow for the following. Number one, had to be easy for our customers to use. If it took time and effort and you had to do stuff, then it was automatically not a good solution. Number two, easy to get a large volume of reviews. Now, large volume is going to be relative to each client. We may have a kitchen and bath remodeling client that may only do 2 or 3 jobs a month. We may have a window and siding client that does 200 jobs a month. What we're looking for is the ability to reach out to and capture reviews from as many people as possible, okay? If that's 2 or 3 out of 2 or 3 per month, or if that's 13 to 50 out of 250 per month, then we want to get as many as we can. But it's got to be easy to get them. Ability to get granular reviews by asking specific questions of the people who are doing the reviews. We want real reviews, not just cherry-picked. I mean, there's a lot of services out there that allow you to just basically create bullcrap reviews, make up your own reviews, cherry-pick the good reviews, eliminate the bad reviews, and you know what? People can start to sense that, and it's not particularly helpful. So we wanted one that was a non-biased, real review engine, okay? But we also wanted protection against negative reviews. Now, when I say protection against negative reviews, I don't mean negative reviews that you have earned. What I mean is negative reviews that are made up by some jackwagon that either hates you irrationally or is not even your customer or is just some jerk trying to cause you problem, or worse, your competitors trying to make you look like a jerk, okay? Anybody ever heard of Google reviews? All you got to do is have a Google account. You can go on and call all of your competitors whatever kind of jerk face you want. And then they can go try to get Google to remove those reviews, and they can have good luck with that because it just doesn't happen. This was not acceptable for our customers. So there's got to be protection against negative reviews. Also, it's got to be easy to manage. The reviews have to automatically upload. You can't have something that requires a lot of management time and effort required, okay? Also, it can't be expensive. That was the last thing. It's got to be inexpensive. And I think you'll see the solution we came up with is about $4,000 per year. So it's not super cheap, but I think well worth the price. So I'll show you more about that as we get into this, okay? So here's what we found. We found a company called Customer Lobby. And here's what's great. Your customers, they don't have to set up an account. So you say, well, we're just going to use Google reviews because it's free. Well, one of the biggest problems with Google reviews is it forces your customers to go in and set up a Google account in order to be able to leave you a review. Huge hoop to jump through. You don't need that or want that. Reviews can be gathered via email, phone, mobile kiosk, handwritten forms, or on the website. So it's got multiple ways to gather reviews. Questions can be standard, or they can be customized by you, or we'll help you customize the questions. And when I say the questions, I'm talking about questions that you ask. What we don't want to do is have our customers just give us a review. The problem is there's not enough customers in most cases to get a really thoughtful review. So we've got to give them some ideas. Here, answer these questions. One of the major websites that you can look at that gives thought-spurring questions is audible.com. Now, audible.com is Amazon.com's audiobook version. It was actually a standalone company that got bought out by Amazon. But if you go on there and you read the reviews for the various audiobooks, you will see that they ask questions and that people literally answer them. Now, what we don't do is we don't show the questions that were answered in the answers, but we do give people questions to give them something to think about as they're writing, okay? And we can customize those, and we can help you write those. And what we want to do is we want to gear those towards your identity. So if your identity has to do with oh gosh, let's say it has to do with quality and the nature of the work that you do, the attention to detail, then we might ask them, did you notice that the contractor paid particular attention to detail? Were there any examples that you can cite? And then they think about that when they're writing. Oh yeah, well, I mean, we were thrilled when John came over and you know, spent 2 hours, you know, going over the specifics with us. It showed a real attention to detail. Oh, okay, that's what we want people to know. We want to lead people towards those types of comments. When working with MYM, you have one responsibility: to get us your customer contact information. We do the rest, okay? And when you do that, your reviews are automatically going to appear on your website. Now, here's what this means. All you have to do in this scenario is get badgered by us being MYM, to give us your customer list each month so that we can then turn it over to our people and have them actually work on this, okay? So here's what we're talking about. We're talking about very extraordinarily, extremely low work on your part, okay? Now, this is a key element here, negative review handling. Here's how this works. With our process, all 4- and 5-star reviews are automatically posted to your website. Okay, so that's good. 4 and 5 stars automatically posted to your website. They don't get reviewed by anybody. They just automatically post. A 3-star review becomes quarantined. A 1, 2, or 3-star review gets quarantined. Now, here's what that means. It gets quarantined for the space of 1 week. And then we, not you, we reach out to that customer and we make sure that they are an actual bona fide customer. If they are not a bona fide customer, and the onus is on them to prove it, they have to show receipt, invoice of work. And if they can't do that, their review is automatically disqualified and will never appear with your reviews. This protects you against yahoos that aren't even your customers giving you reviews, okay? If they do prove that they were your customer and they have a negative review, then we will notify you and give you 7 days to contact the customer and resolve the issue. Now, many times you can resolve the issue. If you're the kind of customer that we like to work with, you're the kind of company that will take care of problems anyway, and you're more than happy to reach out. Now, sometimes you will find customers that are just negative, belligerent jerk faces, right? That's going to happen. And in those cases, you have the ability to leave a rebuttal or an explanation as to the situation, okay? So if you cannot resolve the issue within 7 days, that review will go live. Now, that person can edit their review later, but even if they don't, you can go on and you can give a rebuttal. Thank you for your review, John. I understand that you're upset, but it's very hard to help you fix your problem when every time we call you, you pick up the phone and start yelling expletives at us using the F-bomb repeatedly and not even giving us a chance to talk. If you are interested in having a civil conversation, we would be happy to address your concerns and help you to get the solution that you are looking for. And then people read that and they go, wow, that guy sounds like a real jerk. And now this negative review actually becomes a positive. Now, let me just reemphasize something. If your company consistently sucks and you consistently mess stuff up and your customers consistently hate you, then you deserve negative reviews and you don't deserve to be in business. Okay? Fix it. Then you can move forward. So let the reviews be sort of a thermometer to help you improve your business, okay? All right. Now, different ways to gather emails. First of all, send us a list of customers and we're going to email them, all right? Now, there are some other customer reviews services that specialize in home improvement, and they're good. I don't want to say anything negative about them, but one of the things that I don't like about some of the other, let's call them popular review services, is they don't include automatic email of all your customers. One of the more popular ones includes a predetermined number of monthly reviews that can be gathered either via telephone and or email and or other methods. But if they get one via email, then that counts against your total. In this scenario, we will email all of the customers that you want us to, and if there's 500 customers and we get 100 of them to give us reviews, then that's all included, okay? You don't have to pay extra for those. We do phone reviews also. We include 2 phone reviews per month. These are guaranteed to be complete. Here's what that means. If we can't get hold of somebody, if we can't get your people on the phone, if we can't get them to give a review, then they will roll over to the next month. There are other review services that charge you for a certain number of reviews per month, and if they are not collected, then you just lose those reviews. To me, that just doesn't make any sense, okay? Now, the phone review is a good source of granular reviews because we'll ask them questions. You can request additional phone reviews, and they are available at a nominal cost. So if you want more than 2 phone reviews, that's fine. Now, it's going to be kind of up to you, and we can help coach you through this, but if you've got, let's say, 50 customers per month, you may want to opt for maybe 5 more phone reviews per month to make sure that you get enough, because the number of email reviews that actually come back is relatively low. It might be in the 10 to 20% range, okay? And there's some things that we can do in terms of incentivizing people, but, you know, don't expect 75% of your customers to send back the review. Now, I will tell you this. The better you are at marketing and the stronger your identity and the better your communication, the more likely you are to get these email reviews back, because people will respect you enough to be willing and eager to help you out, okay? It's also something called a mobile kiosk, which is where you take your smartphone or your tablet and you hand it to somebody at the point of sale, not the point of sale, but the point of completion of the job, and they can fill out the review right there, okay? We also have an option to do handwritten review forms, and you hand those to people, you collect them, send them to us, and then we'll make sure that they get uploaded onto your site. So you don't have to fool with those in that situation. Also on the website, your web visitors can easily click on a link and leave their own review. Again, if they're not a bona fide customer or if there's any problems, they'll go through the quarantine process that we just talked about, okay? Okay, so we'll set up a review page for you. Collect reviews on one page. It includes, this page indexes very highly in SEO, gives an overview of your company, provides a summary of your reviews, and you have an option to feature your best reviews, which is what we recommend. So we'll give you an example. Here's one of our clients, Elements Home Remodeling. You can see it's the standard, MYM, powerful, identity-based, social proof, heavy kind of a website. It's got the headline funnel, all the conversionability tools that we talked about. And down here at the bottom, okay, customer reviews. If you click on that, you will see this page that'll pop up. Now, actually, what we recommend is when you click on that, it goes to a page within your website that explains what the customer reviews are, what the services that we use. We also have the ability to actually just embed this into your actual web page, which is what we recommend. Okay, and then you can see here they've got their various reviews. Okay, you can click there to read more, and then we've got this more granular review when you click the check. When you check read more. Okay, so let's talk about how the pricing of this works. It's pretty straightforward. It's $4,000 per year. It includes a setup of your portal. There's no setup fee or anything like that. It's all included in the fee. It includes your review widget that goes on your website, unlimited email reviews, 2 phone reviews per month that are guaranteed to be complete, and MYM managed list gathering and uploading. So we're going to take all of the burden of actually doing all of this off of you, and we're going to do it for you so that you don't have to think about it, you don't have to worry about it. All you have to do is give us your list. And if you don't give us your list, guess what? We will continue to reach out to you and beat you over the head until we get your list. We know you're busy. We know you got other things going on, but we need the list, okay? Without the list from you, nothing else is going to happen. So question, how would you like to get all this for free? Well, we're giving this away as a free bonus for new customers this week only. So let me tell you how that works. One of the things that we do at MYM now that's different than in the past, for the last couple of years, we've been offering marketing fulfillment services to remodelers. Before that, we were primarily a training company doing webinars, just like the one that you're on right now. And if this webinar would have been 2 or 3 years ago, I would have told you about online reviews, and then I would have said, okay, good luck, have fun with that, and then you would have had to go figure it out yourself. Well, we now do these services for our clients because we found that our clients, even though they like the training, participate in the training, and have positive things to say about our training, it's really difficult for most of them, not all, but most, to take what they've learned and actually have the time and expertise and ability to take it and translate it into getting stuff done. So we've created marketing fulfillment services that you can purchase from us that will do these things for you. And we've got some services that are foundational that you have to have in order to operate. Now, we're going to wrap up here in just a second. I'll be giving the books away in just a second, so if you'll stick with me, then I would appreciate that. The first thing is it starts with forging your identity. Everything we do at MYM starts with your identity. So we'll work through your identity process with you, create an identity for you. Then we'll create an identity-based website that converts prospects into customers. The chances are very, very low that you've got an identity-based website right now. You probably just don't. Now, I'll give you an offer in just a few minutes, and there'll be a place where you can check it off where I'll give you an option to get an identity consultation. So we can evaluate that for you if you want. Then we'll help you drive traffic to that site via organic search, SEO, and paid search, pay-per-click, using mailing and advertising to grow. So these are some of the services. We've put together what we call a bonus bundle called the MONOPOLIZE bundle, where we'll create your identity, we'll write all the content for your website, we'll build your website professionally so it looks fantastic, we'll do the setup for the SEO, and we'll do maintenance monthly on your website for 2 years. We'll create a mobile version of your website for you. We'll update your website for 2 years so that you don't have to worry about that. We'll handle it for you. We'll do pay-per-click management of your website for 2 years. We'll create pre-positioning materials, and we'll give you ongoing webinar training. We do about 5 webinars a month, and we have hundreds of them archived on our Insider member portal, so you can get trained on any topic at any time. This is our MONOPOLIZE bundle. It's a value of $51,000. If you go to the website, you see on the bottom corner here, mymonline.com/bonus, you'll see, sure enough, it adds up to $51,000 worth of value. So it allows you to replace your under-leveraged marketing with stuff that actually works. Your website currently is not working like it should. It is not converting like it should. It doesn't have identity like it should. The SEO may or may not be working, but if the website doesn't convert, then that's a problem. Okay, pay-per-click, same thing. It's got to work. It's got to have a website that you can go to that actually works. We sell the MONOPOLIZE bundle for $2,999 down and then $499 a month. So it's, I mean, if you think about what you're getting, a brand new website, written with identity, created identity, pre-positioning materials, you're getting the SEO maintenance, which from many firms is $500 to $1,000 a month all by itself, all of that for $499 a month. It's a great value. How clear is your identity in your current marketing? Answer, not very clear. How many web-based leads are you generating in a month? It's under leveraged. It's not as many as it should be. How much are you spending on stuff that doesn't work? How many deals per month would you need for this to be a good investment? And the answer for all of you is 1. And if you got 2 or 3 extra, it would be icing on the proverbial cake. So if you go to our website, mymonline.com, and you go to the right-hand side, you'll see a tab for remodelers, and you want to go to the bonus bundle page. And you'll see this, bonus bundles, and it says what it includes. We got another bundle called the Kitchen Sink bundle. You can read through that and get an idea of those elements. But go to this bonus page, and you will find the details on this. It includes the Insider program, that's the training program, identity package, pre-positioning, website content, website build, unlimited website updates, mobile website, SEO setup, SEO maintenance for 2 years, and pay-per-click maintenance. Okay? Now, I'm going to give away these 2 books in just a second. We're within about 1 minute of the end of this webinar, so stick with me. But I want to take a poll real quick. And here's the poll. So if you'll do me a favor and just fill this out on your screen. I'm going to launch the poll, and it says, what is your interest in Monopolize Your Marketplace? And I'm going to launch that poll. So if you'll please fill this out. And you can be interested in one of the Monopolize bundles, which is ironically misspelled. I apologize for that. I don't know who's responsible for that, probably me. If you're interested in online reviews, click that. If you'd like to have an identity consultation, click that. So I'll leave that on there for just a few seconds. And yeah, come on. Come on, people. Let's get the voting up. Come on. Come on. Okay, now while you're voting on that, I'm going to do the drawing for the giveaway. So let me do that. Let's see here. All right, book number 1. Well, hang on. I'm going to give the book away in just a second. All right, let me close the poll. And let me go to the last screen. Let me show you what the special offer is. If you purchase the Monopolize bundle, we'll give you 1 year of online reviews for free. It's a $4,000 value. Here's what you need to do if you're interested in that. Email me in the next 10 minutes. You can email me directly to my personal email, richharshaw@gmail.com. I have an MYM email address, but it's just a little bit easier to remember and type, richharshaw@gmail.com. It'll come straight to me and to nobody else. The subject line, free reviews, include your name, website, and cell number. And to be eligible for this offer, you have to purchase the Monopolize bundle by Friday, okay? So I'll leave that on the screen. Meanwhile, let me give away the 2 free books. The first book is going to go to, okay, randomized. I have a way to randomize this. The first book is going to go to Mike Galt, mgalt at roofman.com. We'll get that over to you. And the second book is going to go to, let's see, okay, James Keddington. We'll get that over to you. And I appreciate you being on this webinar. If you have any questions, I would be happy to take those. You can type them in. If you don't have any questions, then I would be happy to be done with the webinar. So thanks so much for participating. Look forward to working with you and helping you with anything we can in the future. That's it. Thanks. Bye now. Oh, hang on. Let's see if we got any chat, if we got any questions. All right, no questions yet. Anyone? Come on. What is a number to call direct? Well, let me give you a number to call direct. The number to call direct is coming to you in just 1 second. Okay, call the number direct. Hold on, sorry for the delay. I'll have it to you in just a second. Because we've got a special number that we can track, okay? The number to track is 214-681-1798. 214-681-1798. And that'll put you in touch with Mr. Brian Bauman, who can help you with that. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate your time. Any other questions today? Okay. Thanks so much. We look forward to talking to you in the future, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye now.